This is The Gist, the essential podcast for the discerning listener.
Welcome to The Gist. It is Thursday, July 23rd, 2026. I'm John.
And I'm Mary. We are your smart friends on the go. Let's get right into it.
Let's start with The Gist View. Today, we are looking at a massive standoff between China and Boeing.
Right, China is ready to buy a massive fleet of Boeing planes. But there is a huge catch. Beijing wants explicit, ironclad guarantees. If the United States government blocks parts or services in the future, Boeing has to cover the damage.
Think of it like buying a high-end smartphone. But before you pay, you make the store promise to refund you if the manufacturer ever blocks your software updates.
Exactly. Politico Europe reports this demand is stalling a major commercial win for Boeing. Why? Because aircraft parts often have dual-use capabilities. That means they can be used for civilian or military purposes. The United States regularly restricts these exports for national security.
But China is flipping the script. Washington has used trade bans as a weapon for years. Now, Chinese airlines want financial immunity from those bans.
This is a pure power shift. The geopolitical risk is moving straight onto Boeing's balance sheet. China is essentially saying, if your government plays politics, you pay the bill.
So, who benefits here? Chinese airlines. They lock in operational security against sudden embargoes. Who loses? American exporters. They are now financially liable for their own government's foreign policy. Trade weaponization has a cost, and American industry is footing the bill. Moving to the global overview, the United States Education Department is cracking down on medical schools.
They've just launched civil rights investigations into 5 institutions. This includes Dartmouth's Geisel School of Medicine and St. Louis University. The Straits Times reports the focus is on racial discrimination in admissions.
Remember, the Supreme Court recently banned affirmative action. Now, we are seeing the fallout. The government is enforcing a strict new regulatory baseline for how schools select students.
Right. It forces universities to completely rebuild their admissions pipelines. The flow of resources, in this case access to elite medical education, is under intense federal scrutiny.
Let's pivot to Wall Street. High-frequency traders have found a new gold mine: Donald Trump's social media posts.
The Wall Street Journal reports that 5 financial firms just bought a direct, ultra-fast data feed from Truth Social. This feed plugs straight into their algorithmic trading systems.
The setup is wild. A political leader posts. The bots read it in milliseconds. They instantly buy or sell assets based on the text.
This is pure arbitrage. Arbitrage just means profiting from tiny instant price differences. Wall Street is literally converting political pronouncements into automated cash. The incentive here is speed. Whoever gets the data first wins the trade.
We also have a grim health update from the Democratic Republic of Congo. Confirmed Ebola deaths have just passed the 1,000 mark.
Bloomberg reports this is the fastest spreading Ebola outbreak on record. Africa's top public health official is warning of a historic catastrophe.
The immediate need is massive capital and medical resources to stop the viral transmission. If authorities cannot contain it quickly, the human and economic costs will be devastating.
Let's turn to the European perspective. The European Commission is gearing up to hit Google with a record fine.
Politico reports this falls under the Digital Markets Act, or the DMA. The DMA is an European Union rulebook designed to proactively shape competition. It stops giant tech platforms from playing unfairly.
The European Union says Google prioritizes its own services and locks out smaller app developers. Google has a near monopoly. Smaller European companies just do not have the size to bypass it.
So the European Union is stepping in. But look at the power dynamic. Penalising Google is not just about protecting consumers, it is about shielding domestic European companies from American tech dominance.
And there is a massive geopolitical risk. Germany's ZDF network reports that European Union officials know this fine could trigger retaliatory tariffs from President Donald Trump.
They are moving ahead anyway. The Commission is effectively deciding that political friction with the United States is an acceptable price to pay. They are buying digital sovereignty, and they are willing to pay for it with trade tariffs.
Next up, extreme weather is reshaping European agriculture. A severe drought is drying up the continent's soil.
A new analysis in The Guardian shows the stark reality. Global heating made these arid conditions 80 times more likely in Western Europe. In Eastern Europe, they are 40 times more likely.
The heat literally evaporates the soil moisture. This creates a structural water deficit. Who benefits? No one. But watch the capital flow.
Exactly. Money is rapidly shifting into extensive irrigation infrastructure. Farming in Europe now requires massive new investments just to secure water. That permanently raises the cost of food production across the entire region.
Finally, a bizarre story of fraud from Scotland. A supplier claimed to be growing premium commercial tea in the Scottish Highlands.
The Guardian exposed this as a complete scam. The supplier deceived luxury hotels and shops for years. There was no massive Scottish tea plantation.
Why do this? Because localised provenance, claiming food comes from a specific, rare place, carries huge profit margins. Premium origin means premium prices.
It shows how high price margins create a direct incentive for systemic agricultural fraud. When people pay top dollar for a story, someone will eventually forge the book.
Let's check today's temperature. Globally, we are seeing a harsh repricing of risk. Whether it is Boeing absorbing the cost of trade wars, Wall Street bots monetizing political posts, or European farmers paying a permanent premium for water, the bill always comes due. Political leverage is the new global currency, and every market is paying the toll.
Spot on. That is all for today. If you enjoyed this episode and want to stay ahead of the curve, you should get our free daily newsletter.
It's the perfect companion to the podcast. Just tap the subscribe link in your show notes to get the gist delivered straight to your inbox every morning. No catch, just great insights. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you tomorrow.
The Gist, News Digest, and podcast are entirely written and produced by artificial intelligence. The Gist is out 3 times a day, every day, providing you with a liberal perspective on what to expect next. For more information and donations, visit thegist.online. Thank you for listening.